Hello and welcome to Clean Good Eat CGE Q&A Wednesdays live. I'm Sakina Bunch, your relationship health and wellness coach. Today we're going to be talking about stress. Now I know I've talked about this topic in the past, and I know stress it's like one of those things where you think you got it all under control and then bam, something else happens. So today we're going to be talking about 5 healthy ways of dealing with your stress. So let's talk about maybe some ways that you feel stress, how it can be overwhelming, right? So we can be stressed in our relationships. We can be stressed in our work situations. We can be stressed with maybe we're not as far along in life as we thought we should be. I mean, stressors can come from anywhere. Well, I remember when I used to work in the military and I worked in a lab, which I will not divulge which lab it was. And we had this officer who was in charge. We had an officer who was before her who was absolutely great, right? But then we got one in that micromanaged everything. And I don't know if you've ever lived under a micromanager, but nothing is ever satisfactory, right? You always feel like there's somebody looking over your shoulder. Well, that's what happened. And I was so stressed out that literally I left work crying every day. I would not give her the satisfaction of crying at work. I got in my car, and as I'm driving, I'm screaming and crying all at the same time. Talk about stress. Well, if this is you, if you are dealing with any situation like that, or family members that can stress you out, stay tuned because we're going to talk about what you can do about it. So first of all, relationships. As much as you can help it, you want to make sure that you are surrounding yourself with positive people. Not just positive people, but positive people who have your best interest at heart. Those who actually care about what happens to you. You know what I mean? Not those, and they can be family or non-family, but you want to make sure that there are people who actually care about your best interest at heart, right? You can release stressful situations upon them and they will never hold it against you. Those are the type of people you want around you, right? Next, when I'm even talking about relationships, I'm not just talking about people outside. I'm talking about the relationship you have with yourself. So when you're thinking about the conversations you have in your mind, are they positive conversations or are they negative conversations? That's something you want to think about, because if the negative talk is not just the people around you, but the negative talk is inside your head, you can get away from the people around you. You can't get away from yourself. So that negative talk that's inside of you, transform it into something positive. Because the more positivity you have around you, the more positive talk you give to yourself, the less stress you will endure. Self-care. Self-care is so important. You know, especially as moms, we are running around, doing all sorts of things. Dads do it too, but I think moms do it on a different scale. If you can imagine, just think about your computer, right? And you've opened up Google Chrome, and you've got like, I don't know, 8 tabs open in Google Chrome, okay? Then you've got your phone, and you got probably about another 10 tabs open on your phone. And I don't know if you're familiar with one tab, but one tab is an app that you can put on your desktop, on your laptop or on your phone, and it takes all of those apps and puts them into like one link for you, right? So just imagine you've got like 10 different links in that one link. That is what a mother's mind is like on any given day. So what can we do as moms to de-stress? Well, first of all, I've said this before, but I have, when I've had it and I can't take it anymore, I have my island, AKA my couch. And when I am on my island, when I refer to it as my island, my family knows, don't mess with mommy. You leave her there. You let her do whatever it is she wants. If she wants some water, you bring her some water. But other than that, don't mess with her. Yes, that's my self-care time. It's just me and a book, maybe me and some work that I need to get done, and I can decompress from everything else. I'm not answering messages. I'm not doing anything else other than trying to get back to homeostasis where I need to be. Self-care for you can come in a variety of ways. Do you like to take baths? It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to go all out to, do a spa or whatever. It can be inexpensive. I have something called the CGE, Sensible Girls Guide to Self-Care Management. And if you go on my website, cleangoodeats.com, right now, you can type in your email and you can get that guide for free. Yes, because it talks about, I think it's like 8 different things that you can do to just relieve your stress. One of those things is essential oils. I don't know if you're into essential oils, but if you are not, you need to be, because those oils just bring you to a place where you're just like, thank you, I need to calm down. It's like smelling a beautiful flower. And you know how that smell of the flower just kind of calms you down? For me, that smell is honeysuckles. I love the smell of honeysuckles. For you, it may be a rose, whatever, okay? For a friend of mine, I know it's the smell of peppers. I'm like, okay, peppers do it for you, whatever. Whatever works for you. But yes, so there you go. Hey, Hopkins. Hey, Lisa. How you doing? Oh, Liza, I'm sorry. All right, so next, food. Now, we can use food for a variety of things. We can use food as comfort. As often as we do, we can use it for comfort. But what we eat plays a huge role in how stressed we become, okay? If we're eating junk in, junk out. If we're eating, the sugar and the salty foods and really high fat foods that, not the good fat either, then yeah, you're going to be stressed. You're not going to be able to handle the stressors that come into your life with ease, with wisdom, right? With a relaxed sense of calm. No, you're going to be hyper and you're going to be like jittery, and it's not going to be a good experience for you. So with food, number one, as I always say, eat whole foods. Stop eating the junk, because there are so many things that you can eat that are delicious, that are whole foods, that are not junk. Okay, that will bless you. Hey, Lori, I'm glad that you caught me on this snow day too. And if anybody has any questions, please feel free to ask me the questions right here. I have some questions that people have posed and asked, and I'm going to try to get to some of those questions too. But feel free, if you're on, just to ask your question. So we're talking about 5 healthy ways of dealing with your stress. And food really does play a huge part in that. So if you want to be nice and calm, did y'all know dark chocolate? Dark chocolate has magnesium in it, okay? Dark chocolate, seeds, in particular hemp seeds. Yeah, I know, right? Hemp seeds have magnesium in it. And magnesium is like your happy pill, okay? It just calms you. It kind of brings you into a state of just being calm. Not high, but calm. All right, next, sleep. I used to really underrate the importance of sleep. I would think, oh, well, I'm burning the midnight oil, or, I can get more done if I just stay up later. The next day, what happens? I'm cranky. I'm falling asleep. I don't want anybody to talk to me. My mind is cloudy because I ate the junk, right? And now I'm tired. So sleep is huge. I was listening to a man, I wish I could remember his name, but if you watch YouTube, Tom Bellew, sometimes he has a little bit of a mouth on him, but he has amazing guests on. His name is Tom Bellew, has amazing guests on. I didn't even know the man was a billionaire, like a millionaire, whatever, but I just love watching the show because of the guests. Anyway, he had this guy on that was talking about the importance of sleep and how, and this is where he got me. Okay, this is where he got me. He said, do you realize you burn 55% more fat when you sleep than if you're doing, say, burst exercise? What? Don't tell me I can burn fat while I sleep. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to sleep. So not only that, but I can lose weight and I can be calmer. Because I'm more rational, because wisdom and knowledge come a little bit easier when you are well rested, because you don't fly off the handle at your kids when they ask you for something that they've asked you a million times before and you said no a million times before, like the answer's going to change. No, you can take it all in stride. Hey, Erica, how you doing? All right, so next, physical activity. Now, y'all just heard me say that I can burn 55% more fat when I sleep as opposed to exercising. I will admit to you, yes, I am a health coach that does not like to exercise. Now, does that mean I shouldn't exercise? No, it just means I don't like it. Okay, so for me, if you want me to exercise, put it to a dance. I got to dance. I got to do something that has to be, energetic, something exciting for me. But physical activity boosts endorphins. Endorphins, again, are your happy hormone, makes you excited and happy. But if you're looking for ways to stifle endorphins, y'all not gonna like me when I tell you this. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Okay. Stifling endorphins, caffeine, alcohol, right? If your gut is all in a hot mess, you're always having stomach issues, IBS, things like that. Yeah, that will do it. That will stifle your endorphins. If you are under chronic stress, that will stifle them as well. If you want to know if you have an issue with endorphins, if you're low on endorphins, if you crave pleasure foods like chocolate, wine, and sugar, chances are you might have an endorphin issue. So when you think about all these things, you're like, oh, okay, well, I can do some of these things. I can kind of alter some of my relationships. I'm gonna tell you, on Facebook, I don't play on Facebook. I don't play on social media. If you are negative, you got to go. I'm so sorry. I love you and I will pray for you, but you got to go. I cannot have that. Because the world is negative enough. You don't need to invite negativity in. So make sure you handle those relationships, okay? Next, self-care. We're just doing a little wrap up. Self-care. You want to make sure you take time for yourself. If not daily, at the very minimum, weekly. Take some time, okay? Because your brain, your hormones, and everybody around you depend on it. Food. Eat just real food. Don't eat something that was made in a plant. Eat something that comes from a plant, or at least eats plants, okay? So food is very important. Sleep. If you don't hear anything else, right? So if you stay in botched up relationships, if you deal with your daily life without any type of self-care, if all you eat is junk, make sure you get some sleep. Because honestly, that's the most important thing. Make sure you get some sleep, okay? And then physical activity. If you want to use those muscles and those bones later on in life, use them now. Okay. So now I'm going to get to some questions. Let's see. How do you deal with stress in the workplace? Okay, well, I kind of touched on that, but some other tips. Learn what actually stresses you. Is it a person? Is it a process? Is it your, just the building itself? Learn what stresses you. Whatever you can fix. Whatever you can't fix, you pray about maybe getting a new job. Okay, that's all I can really say about that. If it's your boss, learn what motivates them and learn what moves them to action. That's important so that you can make sure that you can develop a healthy response to their stressful behaviors. It could very well be that, they're a micromanager. Sometimes you just have to go into survival mode, so that you can preserve your life. You go into survival mode. If they're a micromanager, think 3 steps ahead of them. Make sure everything is taken care of so they have nothing to say. Yes, that can be a little stressful on you, but in the long run, it will be less stressful. Or again, pray about getting another job. All right, or pray them out of there. The Lord can work wonderful miracles. Okay, next. Create firm boundaries and let them be known. So with my boss, what I wish I would have done, because again, I was young, I didn't know. I wish I would have said, hey, you know, you can go here, but you can't go here. That's it. Now, when my daughter came into play in this whole mess, that's when I created those boundaries, but I didn't do them for myself. So I'm saying you make sure you create those boundaries for yourself, because respect will come with those boundaries. And if everything else fails, counting and breathing will help. So just count to 10, 20, 30, 50, whatever you need to count to, and breathe in the process. Okay. Let's see. Why is everyone so stressed, and how can we relax more? Well, I think people are stressed for a number of reasons. We have all of these wonderful processes that help us to do work more quickly, more efficiently, but we don't have the opportunity, or let me rephrase that, we don't take the opportunity to turn it off. So years ago, you went to work 9 to 5, you went home. That was it. You left the work at work. You might, grumble and complain about it at home, but you weren't getting like the little dings, on your phone at home or on your computer at home. That wasn't happening. So maybe you just need to find time to turn it off. That could help you with stress. Next. What is a healthy reaction to stress caused by life changes? Well, I wish I could answer that for you. A healthy response is whatever doesn't kill the people around you or cause you to go further spiraling downward. So for each situation, I would say, is different. For each person, I would say, is different. You just have to figure out what works for you. Now, if you just tuned in, we're doing a Q&A and people are posting questions. These are some of the questions that people have posted throughout the week. So feel free to post any questions that you have about 5 healthy ways of dealing with stress. If you have a comment, please feel free to do that too. Post that there, because I love to hear the comments too. Helps me help you. Okay. How do you improve communication and reduce stress within family ties? That's a tough one. I say it's a tough one because I still struggle with that. Family's family. You can choose your friends, but not your family, right? So all you can do is keep the lines of communication open on your side. That's all you can do. They choose to respond or not respond. It's, that's really all you can do. So the best way, I would say, to improve communication while reducing stress is maybe call them every once in a while. My aunt, she is such a such a proponent for this. She's like, look, girl, you just call them. If they don't talk to you, that's fine. You did your due diligence. You call them. And so I'm going to share that with you. You do your due diligence and you call them. Okay. I have 2 part-time jobs. I am sick with stress at one. What do I do? Well, this sounds like it would be a no-brainer, but you don't know the situation. So I don't know your situation. It's so easy for someone to say, well, just quit the one that, stresses you out more, or go get another job. You have to do what you know is best for your situation. If you have 2 part-time jobs, maybe perhaps you can see about going more full-time on another one, if that's an option for you, or you can see about getting another part-time job, maybe something where you work from home. I don't know what your situation is, but those would be the suggestions that I would give. If anybody else has any suggestions on that one, because that, I'm kind of at a loss on that one, feel free to post it. Okay. What are some of the worst symptoms caused by extreme stress? Well, there are quite a few. Depression is actually the #1 killer around the world. 350 million people deal with depression every single year, with 1 million committing suicide worldwide each year, which is very sad. Stress is the underlying cause of that. So obviously death is a very severe symptom, right? But think that it's stress, it's sadness, it's depression. No, when you are stressed, that causes physical harm to your body, right? So when you are stressed, you can develop heart issues, you can develop, you know, sight issues, brain issues, gut issues, ulcers, stones, like just so many things can develop because of stress. Even cancer can develop because of stress. So you want to do everything you can to reduce the levels of stress in your life. Okay, so Lori types in, focus on breathing and be present in the moment. Yes, very true. Most stress for me has been rehashing the past or being apprehensive of the future. All we have is the present moment. Yes, Lori, that is so true. In fact, the definition of depression is an irrational concentration on the past. Okay, so you're so focused on things that have gone on in the past, which cause you to be depressed. Anxiety, which is generally a companion of depression, is having that same feeling, but for the future. Okay, so you're constantly worried about things that are going on in the future that have not even happened yet. So that's, you don't want to do that. You want to live in the present. The present really is all you have. And when you're so focused on the past and you're so focused on the future, you never enjoy what's right in front of you. And then you get to the end of your life and you say, I wish, I should have, I could have. We have right now. Right now is what we have. So you have that opportunity to stop worrying about the past. Can't change it. It's not going to change. Stop fearing the future, okay? Because what you do today can determine what happens in your future. Your future doesn't have to be what you presume that it will be in a negative sense. You have the present right here. Let's work on that, okay? All right, let's see. I think I have one more question. How do you cope with huge emotional stress? Well, I have a routine that I do, and I share this with my clients. When I coach my clients, we deal with the mind, body, and the soul. Okay, so I could have a client that comes to me for a weight issue, and really, the weight issue is just a symptom of what's really going on, right? And so I always deal with the mind because the mind can direct everything else. If you can get your mind under wraps, like even when we do our sugar detox, I'm like, hey, we got to work on this first. Because if we don't work on this, nothing else we do will be right, because you'll always fall back into those same patterns. So when you're dealing with huge emotional stress, you got to work on this. So in the morning, I have a kind of a little ritual that I do. And I share with my clients to do it as well. Just talk about things that you are grateful for. When you start out your day being grateful, you will be amazed at how differently your day turns out than when you don't, right? So when I'm grateful, I don't like the snow. Okay, and it's snowing today. I really don't like the snow. But guess what? On my gratitude chart, I say, I'm thankful that the Lord gave snow. Honestly, I think the snow was a part of the fall, but we won't talk about that, right? Because now my son can go out and play. He's got a day off. We can actually spend some time together. He's been wanting to teach me this video game for the longest time, and now we actually have time to do it. And so there are things, many things, even in those things that you don't like, to be thankful for, right? And then there are other things that we put on that list as well. But that's how I deal with it. She says, Lori says she thinks she accidentally hit the angry face when she picked up her phone. No problems, Lori. No angry faces here. Okay. But another thing that I do, and which probably you could do too, in dealing with emotional stress is, like I said, make sure the people that you are surrounding yourself with are good people. Because if they're good people, when you're not having a good day, it's not going to be roses every day, right? When you're not having a good day, those are the people that will say, hey, okay, you got your 2 minutes of just getting it out. Now let's move on. Those are really good friends, okay? All right, so that is my take on emotional stress and 5 healthy ways of dealing with stress. If you would love to just have my CGE Sensible Girls Guide to Self-Care Management, and I'm telling you, it's a doozy, it's a winner. You can get it free. Just go to my website, cleangoodeats.com. Put in your email address. It's going to be a little square that pops up and asks you for your email address. And get on our mailing list, and you can get all the latest updates, especially I'm having a sugar detox that's coming up, okay? And again, sugar detox, getting rid of all that junk helps you with stress. That sugar detox is starting January 6th. I'm going to have a little promo for that coming up January 6th, but it's only for the people who are on the mailing list. So you want to get yourself on that mailing list, okay? Because I give out little, tidbits and meals, and it's just going to be fun. So cleangoodeats.com, put yourself on the mailing list, get yourself that CGE Sensible Girls Guide to Self-Care Management. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you are tuning in on YouTube, subscribe, press the subscribe button. If you are tuning in on Facebook, go to my Facebook group, Clean Good Eats with Sakina B, and like it if you have not already liked it. If you want to find me on Instagram, because you just like the pictures, because I do post a lot of food pictures, please go there and become a follower there, and you will get all of the latest as well. All right, thank you so much. Look forward to talking with all of you again next week, same time. Bye-bye.